Start the clock.
Good afternoon. At the tone, time will be
Real time.
Although America likes to think it's number one, we have to admit that we're behind the developing world in at least one thing. Their religious wackos are a lot more wacko than ours. You may applaud that. When South Park got threatened last week by Islamists incensed at their depiction of Muhammad, it served, or should serve, as a reminder to all of us that our culture isn't just different than one that makes death threats to cartoonists. It's better. Because when I make a joke about the Pope, he doesn't send one of his Swiss guards in their striped pantaloons to stick a pike in my ass. When I make a Jewish joke, rabbis make kvetch about it, but they don't pull out a scimitar and threaten an adult circumcision. And when I insult Scientology, the worst that happens is You know, it is true. When it comes to scary-ass religions, extremist Muslims are like Godzilla, and we're like, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I mean, Sarah Palin is an evil dingbat who thinks God opens doors, but she never tried to poison gas a girls' school, as the Taliban did this week in Afghanistan. You think about the craziest religious wackos we have here in America, the Mormons. I'm kidding, that's not a religion. No. Take the worst. The worst is the Christians who bring their God hates fag signs to soldiers' funerals. Can't get worse than that. Now multiply that by infinity and give it an army. That's the Taliban. Now, I've been known to make fun of Christians, but I have the perspective to know they're a lot more evolved than people who target girls for going to school. Why, the worst thing our priests ever do is smother children with kisses. But you know, even with the latest Catholic horror story, Muslims could teach Christians a clinic in how to be fucked up about sex. And that's because Muslims still take their religion too seriously, whereas we have the good sense to blow it off. Catholics, for example, don't follow the Pope in overwhelming numbers. They divorce, they have premarital sex, they masturbate. And unlike the Quran, no one here seriously considers following the Bible literally. Guys don't look over their fence on Sunday morning and see a neighbor mowing the lawn and think, working on Sunday? I really should kill him. Now, Christianity, of course, went through a period like that, where religion had too much influence. It was called the Dark Ages. For centuries, you either joined the church or were killed. But nowadays, when a Jehovah's Witness comes to the door, you turn the garden hose on him. But before I conclude, it should, in fairness, be noted that in speaking of Muslims, we realize that, of course, the vast majority are law-abiding, loving people who just want to be left alone to subjugate their women in peace. But I gotta tell you, civilized people don't threaten each other. We sue each other. Threatening, that's some old-school desert shit. And I'm sorry, you can't bring that to the big city. I'm very glad that Obama is reaching out to the Muslim world, And I know Muslims living in America and Europe want their way of life to be assimilated more. But the Western world needs to make it clear some things about our culture are not negotiable and can't change. And one of them is freedom of speech. Separation of church and state is another, not negotiable. Women are allowed to work here, and you can't beat them. Not negotiable. This is how we roll. And this is why our system is better. And if you don't get that, and you still want to kill someone over a stupid cartoon, please make it Garfield. All right, that's our show. Thank you, folks.